Well, hello again. Let's do video number two, numero dos, as they say here. So once again, just to give you an idea who I am, a little bit more about me, so you'll know whether or not what I have to say is even relevant to you. Um, like I said, I'm in my early 60s. I'm 64 years old. I've done a lot of things throughout the course of my life. I've been independently employed since I was in my 20s. Um, I've never looked for money. I've never been one to look for money. I'd rather look for an adventure. I'd rather have some memories than be, beating the bushes for money all the time. So that's kind of my philosophy. So this isn't none of what I'm going to talk to you about is about making money or about, saving money, making money, anything like that. Saving maybe because, I'm a bit on the frugal side. So So anyway, let me see about this stick here. Like this is my second video, so I'm still still a little rough, but I watch a lot of YouTube, and I get a lot of good value from the guys that I watch on YouTube who are talking about various things. Guys that are in the Philippines, especially, they have a lot of um, problems. So the problems that people that single guys have in the Philippines, or say let's say not problems, but let's say just considerations, are pretty much the same as the ones I have here. And I want to talk about that through various videos, but I want to keep them short so that I don't lose anybody's interest because anyway, I don't want to ramble. I am currently in the town of Guatapé, Colombia. It's about 2 hours outside of Medellin, Colombia. And I'm in the Colombian Andes, so I am, at the altitude of 7,000 feet here. It's a dreary Monday. It's basically a holiday weekend, so the Monday was the holiday, so the town is full of people. It's a very touristy town where I live. Um, it's one of the biggest lakes in Colombia. It's an artificial lake. It's called an embalse, which is a reservoir here. And I live here. I've been here for 5 years. I've had this apartment. Now I don't own this apartment. You can see what I have here. Let's see that the front. And eventually I'll make a video of the town and I'll show you what's going on if I have enough interest and people are interested in seeing the place. But I came to Colombia. I started in the the Dominican Republic, Republic of Dominicana. See, I confuse my Spanish with English a lot when I'm talking here because usually when I'm here, I'm speaking Spanish. So that's kind of one of my challenges is I start explaining things and my mind is kind of jumbled up with Spanish and English at the moment because I've been here for almost 2 months now. So I live here, but not all the time. I live here 2 months and then I live in the United States 2 months or something like that. My schedule varies every year. So I was looking for a place to retire. I was looking for a place to have a second home where I wasn't, where I could have some possibilities and the opportunity to have a good adventure once in a while, the opportunity to travel, the opportunity to have something different, something to get me up in the morning, something to help me maintain my interest in life. And don't get me wrong, I have a lot of things that I do in the States that I enjoy that I can't do here. And that's why I don't think I'll ever really fully live here, 12 months a year. And pretty much I'm the only person that I know that does this here. I haven't met anybody else who has a permanent position here in Colombia like I do. I have my apartment, which I rent, okay, but all the furnishings are mine. I rented this apartment bare bones. The furnishings are mine. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. Overviews the lake. I've got a just insane view of the lake and the mountains in the background. It's quiet. It's got hot water, which we'll get into that another time, but that's important. It's to my taste. I feel very at home here. I started in the Dominican Republic briefly, just very briefly overview, like a 30,000-foot overview. I started in the Dominican Republic. Well, actually, I started in the Florida Keys, retiring to that area, way too expensive. Even though I had friends there I could stay with, just way too expensive to spend a lot of time there and have an adventure. Then I found the Dominican Republic, and I spent some time going there. And then I went to Costa Rica and I spent some time there, and I bounced around into Nicaragua a little bit and into Panama a little bit. And then I discovered Colombia, and now I am here in Colombia. So that was 5 years ago. I came here and I rented this place. And I started in the cities, which is where everybody starts when they come here. You start in Bogota or Medellin or Cartagena or Santa Marta or a city. But I quickly realized that number one, I really couldn't afford to live in a city, especially half the year. So, you know, one of my, well, the math for me, part of it was that I don't want to, I'm going to live here 6 months. I'm not going to get a visa. I don't have residency in Colombia. So I live here on a tourist visa, which is so easy. You show up. You show up at the airport and they stamp you for 90 days and you can stay your 90 days, but you have 180 days maximum per year that you can stay here in Colombia. So I thought, well, let's see how that works out. So I started with that. And then I really realized that when I'm here 2 months, 2.5 months, I kind of burn out a little bit. I want to get some food that's normal to me, and I want to speak English, and I want to get back to work. Sometimes you just want to do things that you want to do. I have friends that kind of do that, but they don't have a permanent position here. And I'll tell you why I decided to have a permanent position here versus just renting Airbnbs and just traveling, little by little. But so anyway, I come down here 2.5, 3 months at a time, and then I leave. And I try to get out of the United States. I live in the Northeast. I live in Pennsylvania. And it's, the summers are horrible because they're hot and humid and sticky. And the winters are horrible because they're just horrible and gray and bleak and cold. And so I try to be here in Colombia when the worst of the weather is in the United States. And then I'm like a snowbird, I guess you could say, but a little bit of an extreme snowbird. I come way south instead of just going to Florida. And like I put some MG Tow references in my search parameters, and I'm going to modify that over time, is because I realized that I didn't have the patience for the patience or the financial reserves, let's say, for a relationship in the United States. It just wasn't going to happen. And plus, I really wanted to be able to find somebody I was physically attracted to, and that was definitely not going to happen in the United States because, let's face it, you get over 60 and you're kind of, not real desirable anymore. We are kind of we become kind of more invisible as time goes on, and I understand that. I get it. I get the world. I understand. I'm aware of all that. But I wanted to come up with a way to do a run around that. So I figured I would come here to Colombia, where older guys like me who are stable financially, and I'm not a rich guy by any stretch of the imagination. I'm a very middle-class guy. I spent all my life as a carpenter, as a home builder and a carpenter, but I never on a big scale. I was always out there swinging a hammer, always out there working. So, I'm a little bit different than a lot of these guys creating YouTube channels that I see that they're coming from a position of financial strength, and I'm just not that guy. I just didn't want to really keep working. And these guys that work and they're 70 and they're still trying to create businesses and still working, I don't really understand that. I guess there's a point to that for some people, but for me, I just wanted to pull the plug basically and just say, okay, I want to forget what day of the week it is. And a lot of times here, I forget what day of the week it is. I don't know if it's Thursday or if it's Wednesday sometimes. I don't get off by more than 2 days. But usually sometimes I'll say, I think today's Saturday. No, today's Friday. Oh, man, what happened there? I missed a day. But here in Colombia, now pre-COVID, now really COVID has changed everything. And that's part of the impetus of this channel, is that COVID has changed everything for me and changed the dynamics of my life here. And I'll go over that in the next video. So if you choose to watch, down the road, I'll get into more things and more details about my experiences here and how I got here and what I did to get here and my decision-making process and everything. I would love to see questions. If anybody does subscribe and you have questions, put them in the comments, I guess, is how that's done, and I'll read them and I'll try to get all that answered. because I'm pretty much isolated. Not so much here, but I'm a conservative guy. Okay, my politics are conservative. Now that does not define me. Okay, but I found that a lot of the liberal people I know, their liberal nature defines them, and they can't be in a group without talking about it or preaching about it. And that's not who I am. I'm a conservative. Okay, I'm a conservative guy. I feel like everybody needs to take care of themselves. Don't look to me for a handout. Okay, if you're working hard, and if you're working hard and you've had a bump in the road, I'm happy to help you. But if you just want to just sit back and have a nice easy life while other people pay for it, that's not part of my wiring. So just to explain that to you, how I am from a I guess philosophical point of view. But yeah, I'm here. I love Colombia. The culture is good. The people are excellent people. You're going to meet some good people here. You're going to be safe. Don't forget about all the stuff you hear about safety. It's not an issue at all, and I'll get into that too. I've got so much to talk about. I've got a wealth of background and information, and I'd kind of like to share it. Like I said, I'm not ever looking at monetization on this channel. I don't think there'll ever be enough interest for that, but I feel like I can help some of you guys out there who are just looking at life and saying, is this it? Is this it? I've worked all these years and now this is it, And maybe there's somebody out there that just would like a little bit more. And I would like to be able to help with that. So I'm here in beautiful downtown Guatapé, Colombia, and I'm going to try to get you a little bit outside here. So we'll see what we can do about the view now. I don't know if you can see that or not, but in there is the lake. It's a slow day today, but it is a weekend. And it's very cloudy, dreary day today. So anyway, look it up. Guatapé, Colombia. I will, I guess, put that in the description down below when I post this. And like I said, trying to help guys at the end of the day who are retiring with some energy and they want to have a good time. I'm a scuba diver, so I used to go to Santa Marta all the time for some of the best diving you'll ever have. Cheap, and really close. And so there's a lot of options here, and maybe I can help you settle into some of the things that you might like to try to experience in your life. So anyway, peace. Thank you.